Guys, the Super Review Show for another My Thoughts on video. This is my thoughts on the news that came out recently about the Harry Potter Studios that is going to be announced at some point soon, officially. But basically, so long story short, I know I don't really talk about this franchise that often on the Super Review Show. I know we started 2022 with a Harry Potter 20th anniversary recap video. The Harry Potter franchise is near and dear to my heart. I'm a big fan of the franchise for a while. I played Quidditch in my yard kind of thing, that kind of stuff. The films themselves are beloved around the world. They re-released The Sorcerer's Stone, I think in 2021, and it became the next billion-dollar film of all time. One of the next films that made $1 billion. Hard to believe, but it's true. Who was it? So recently, Warner Brothers came out and said, "Hey, we're doing this great job with DC Studios. Because Warner Brothers is the parent company, and we're gonna make a DC Studios underneath it, specifically for the DC superheroes: Batman, Superman, whatever, right? Wonder Woman. Whereas this is now going to be specifically for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Now, at first you're like, all right, well, listen, the last film was 12 years ago, in 2011 with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Harry Potter proper. I mean, Fantastic Beasts was good while it lasted. It wasn't Harry Potter per se, but it was definitely enjoyable for what it was worth. This idea is genius, in my opinion, because it's in my thoughts on video. It's genius on a couple different levels. Number one, you have for Harry Potter as a franchise is still going strong. Outside of the movies, outside of the Fantastic Beasts films, you've had the most recent thing we have currently is actually the Hogwarts Legacy video game that's been out, and it's still huge to this day. And it's funny, it's weird because the last Harry Potter movie was in 2011 with Deathly Hallows Part 2. What I find very interesting is that a lot of people are discovering Harry Potter of this age level, and it's funny. I was watching my news feed and whatnot, and figuring out what my next video is going to be. And I heard someone say, "Hey, what Star Wars is to that generation, Harry Potter is to this generation." And I actually can definitely see how that's the reasoning behind a lot of that. Truthfully, you have stuff like, Star Wars was a cultural defining film franchise that took on everything possible, and it still is to this day one of the best films of all time. Now, is Harry Potter one of the best franchises of all time? That's up for debate. It is one of the most highly successful franchises of all time, too, with tons. And each film was as it got closer to the end, it made more and more money. So the movies ended on a high note. It's still kind of in the public consciousness, stuff like that. I think that we will get more Potter movies to some extent, but the question is, where do we go with Harry Potter? I mean, the franchise ended, up until now, with Deathly Hallows. Harry Potter proper. Now, will we see Cursed Child, which was a show on Broadway in New York City at one point? I don't know if we're going to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child or not. That's a whole another ballgame. Because you got to get Daniel Radcliffe to come back. You got to get Rupert Grint. Emma Watson's been branching off of the Potter world for a while now. So it all depends on where you go. Cursed Child is an option. I would actually say HBO Max is more of a route for certain things. I was going to say, there's certain books that J.K. Rowling has written outside of the Harry Potter 7 novels that came out. They got her. There's Tales of the Beetle Bard. There's a book about Quidditch. There's other books you could do properties with, and I think that this new studio thing at Warner Brothers, where it's going to be strictly only Harry Potter, it's going to be a Wizarding World type of studio where we're only going to focus on Harry Potter product. That sounds interesting to me, at least. So I think that this is a good move by Warner Brothers. And David Zaslav, I don't know if I've ever talked about him, but he is the current head of Warner Brothers because Discovery bought Warner Brothers, and they're going to have. They've been trying to make different advancements and moves to make their movies better in quality, and also just step up their game a little bit more. So I think it's worth at least bringing up. They're doing all this stuff with DC. We've talked about that on Mixed Bag before and whatnot. But this one, I had to do my thoughts on video for this because like I said, the last Harry Potter proper film was in 2011. That's over 10 years ago. What are they going to do? I'm not sure. But I think that if we do get some more Harry Potter, I think a Cursed Child property, I think a Cursed Child film might be a good step in the right direction. And then that'll revamp the Potter lore, revamp the Harry Potter like fan base, if you will. And it should be good from there. So we'll have to wait and see, of course. But what do you guys think? Are you a Harry Potter fan out there? Do you love and appreciate this franchise as much as I do? And truthfully, I'm a huge fan. I've seen all the movies. I haven't read all the books, but I've read the first probably 4 books. I think I forget. It's been a long time, but because I'm older now, and those movies were a big part of my childhood and my youth and stuff like that. So it all depends on how they handle it. But what do you guys think of it out there? Jump down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts on Harry Potter. Where will the Potter franchise go from here? Will they make more movies? Will HBO Max get a TV show of Quidditch or something like that? Let me know what you guys are thinking about there in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications as well. But for all of my thoughts on videos and many more, keep it locked on the Super J-Man. It's off to rock. We'll see you guys later.